Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're going to be doing a really quick page in my craft journal and looking at making some gloss spray backgrounds. So the first thing I'm starting off with is some light coloured paint. So in this case I'm using mineral. I'm just sort of painting a strip down the middle of the page. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I knew I wanted to work with my gloss sprays. And this will give me a little bit of contrast for my page that my gloss sprays can work against. You'll notice when I start spraying on that, where it's a craft paper, it's going to be quite dark. Where it's got the white or the light blue underneath it, you're going to get the really bright colours. I also decided to stamp all over the page again to just get a little bit of extra texture in the background, I suppose, or interest in the background. And you'll notice when you start spraying, because I'm using the archival inks, which are an oil-based inks, it actually starts to resist and pull the gloss sprays one side or the other, which I really, really like the effect of. And now you're thinking, what are you doing, Niamh? So now I'm doing a technique where you put your masks down. So in this case, I'm using circle masks and rubbing it away. So what will end up happening is I will end up with some of these lovely circle shapes with a marine on it, and then you will see that gloss spray from below. And when you pull up your mask, it actually pulls up some of the paint as well, so you get sort of this peeled paint effect in the background. So once I've done one layer of circles, I'm now going back in with another shade of colour, and this stage I'm using Night with a little bit of that, I was going to say marine, mineral in the background just to lighten it off a little bit. And again, you can sort of see my circles taking shape. So you just get this really beautiful layered up effect. So you can still see what's happening in the background, and when we do the close-up at the end, you'll sort of see that gloss spray coming back. And also in those circles, you'll sort of see the texture coming through as well. I decided then I wanted to add a little bit of extra colour and bring some of that colour from the background. So I'm using my orchid and just spraying through. And you can see on the different colours that I've got there. So I've got the, with the night and so on, that orchid colour takes on that really dark, or has, just think of your words, Niamh, develops those dark blue tones to it. So while it looks quite pink in the bottle, once you put it on some blues, the blues of the purple really develop, which I love. So you sort of get two for the price of one in the colour. I'm also going in with some of the sage over the top and spraying it on. And because there's so many layers of acrylic paint in the background, you can sort of see how it's bubbled and resisted, and you've just got that really interesting texture. And if I tried to do that with paint, I couldn't. So I just really love the organic nature, I suppose, of it. Once I've finished just drawing around the edges of the circles with my Stabilo oil pencil, and then just putting some splatter over the top as well. So in the close-up at the end, you'll sort of see all those layers, even though it looks like, oh, you've covered up all that background that you did, it's still there, it's still visible in some bits, and sort of see it peeking through. And that's the exciting bit about, well, what I really love about mixed media is the fact that you get all these different layers. And I know it really frustrates some people because they think, oh, well, why did you add more over it? Why did you just add all that paint over the top? Why didn't you stop there? But it's those little bits of peeking through the different layers that I think is really, really interesting. So I'm just using my Stabilo woody pencils, which are the chunky version, to add some more of that purple and green in, just by a little random mark making in the background. And I just put this stamped image, which is from some of the new stamp sets. I think it's the alphabet stamp set. It comes with the frame and then the words in between. I'd stamped it out earlier and it was lying on my desk, and I thought I'd put it on the page. But it didn't feel finished, so I went to the other page, and this is from the new alphabet tissues, and I saw this piece of writing. I loved this font and just how big and chunky it is, so I thought I'd cut that out. It is my soul and feel your life. I thought those sort of two sentiments tied together But as I did it, the pages started to feel a little bit separate to me, which was a little bit odd. So I sort of just went with it. So I sort of worked on one page and then worked on the other page. Just using some matte gel medium to glue the words down. I am being a little bit careful with it, and the reason for that is I've got the Stabilo Oil pencil in the background, which is a water reactive pencil. You can sort of see that over where I've just stuck the sole down. And also the purple and green pencil I put on, a water reactive. So you can see on the sole bit, it got really dark there for a second. And that's because the Stabilo Oil pencil underneath reacted with the gel medium. And I was able to wipe away a lot of it with my wet wipe. So just have a wet wipe on hand if you are doing that. Possibly it would have been a lot more sensible for me if I had actually put Stabilo Oil pencil on in my last layer rather than sort of an in-between layer. So do as I say and not as I do. Isn't that the quote? Once I'd finished, I thought I wanted to add some journaling onto that page, particularly about It Is My Soul. And it just called to me, so I just wrote a bit about why I really liked that quote and what it meant to me at the moment. And then with the Feel Your Life, I decided to add some journaling to that too. So with the journaling, it's really, really loose, really big upstrokes and downstrokes, writing really, really quickly, and I was just writing what was on my mind. And to be honest, if I went back and read that now, I probably couldn't be able to read it to myself, let alone to anyone else. So it's just a way of getting your thoughts out onto page without really thinking about what it was all about. So this is my finished page, or so I thought, and I really liked it. That little bit of splatter of white over the end really helped tie it together, which I loved. And you've got all those colours repeating over the page, which is really good. But on this next page, I actually decided to stamp in white a figure of a face, which again I'm really happy that I did. And I stamped it using acrylic paint, so I put some acrylic paint onto my stamped image and then stamped it onto the page, which helped it really pop out against the background. And again, just sort of finished it off, both sides kind of tied together again because it had that face in it, so you were actually talking about a person. The other thing was, by stamping it over my journaling, it made my journaling even harder to read. So if you really are worried about hiding your journaling on a page, just put a stamped image over the top of it, and that kind of takes away from it. So I hope you enjoyed this and have a go at making some interesting layered backgrounds. Until next time, bye for now.